Doing taxes as a musician may seem hard, but it's actually quite easy with just a few tools like a bank account and a QuickBooks account, right? Well, I'm going to show you how to do those taxes worry-free and make more money with your business to help it grow right here, coming up on the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. Let's jump right into these tax tips to help you make more money and grow this business, because I know you got a lot of money to make and we ain't got time to waste. Here we go. Okay, so I told you there'd be a few tools we need, really only 3 to get this thing going. This will be a precursor to reinvesting in your music business so that you can grow it faster, because I think a lot of people don't really understand how to do that. And since a lot of you all have expressed growth to me, I figured I need to do a video on that one, so I'm gonna throw it in the stash. Anyway, but this is today's video. So these are the tools that we're gonna need. We're gonna need QuickBooks Self-Employed, right? And then we're gonna need the one with the TurboTax on it. You gotta get that, because at this point, if you're just starting and you're making a few $1,000s a month, you actually can't really afford that accountant, right? You're like H&R blocking it, you know what I'm saying? So this would be the best way. And QuickBooks is going to take care of a lot of this bookkeeping for you, and it's going to automate a lot of this process right here. You're going to need that business bank account, and you're going to need the LLC to take advantage of the tax savings and the write-offs, because if you don't have that, everything will be taxed personally. We don't want that. We want this LLC to start us, and then, we can get into all the heavy business, taxation methods later. All right, so here's the trick. What you want to do is you want to watch your estimated tax meter, and you want to spend your estimated tax bill and write-offs each quarter. Now, that's a key indicator. Well, that's a game point. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're watching that tax bill and estimating about how much you're going to pay in taxes, you want to keep spending that amount. So you want to keep the tax bill down by buying stuff that can be a tax write-off. So at the end of the year, it's like, oh, I don't really owe anything. Some game right there. Number 3, you got to take a snapshot of your mileage at the top of the year and at the end. And just at this point, we can claim standard mileage is all good. All right. So that's the trick right there. Now, here's going to be the bulk of today's show. We're going to talk about these write-offs. And as you see, just like I explained in that little piece of game I just gave you, when you're spending money on things that you can write off, you spend it there so that you can grow the business. All right, check it out. We're going to have about 6 of these slides, so just stick with me through the whole show. And if you need a little bit more guidance, you can always book a call with me. Here we go. Sample list of write-offs: advertising, promotion, marketing expenses, YouTube ads and Facebook ads, commissions, agency and management fees, right? The stuff you got to pay them, you can write them off. All right, or like the 5% booking agent fee, 10% booking agent fee, whatever they take. Your phone bill, your internet bill, your musicians fees, the show musicians that you pay, your backline musicians that you pay. You can write all that stuff off. So what I mean is, like, if you got equipment and software that you got to buy, gifts, business gifts, right? Only $25 is deductible per gift. So don't be buying people stuff that's like more than $25 unless it's something else that you can write off in a different business sense. All this stuff, as you can see, your standard operable things that you got to do with the business anyway can be written off, most of it 100%. So let's keep rolling. The home office deduction, this would be your studio. So this is like a $1,500 credit off the rip. I claim that all the time. Right? $1,500. Insurance, business insurance, renter's insurance, equipment insurance, interest that you got to pay. That's credit card interest, loan interest, mortgage interest. All of this stuff can be written off. Legal and professional services. So all the attorney's fees that you acquire every year, write those off. All the contracts, all the redlining, all of that. Write it all off. And even for your accountant, the tax preparation, write that stuff off. Even your business, right? Your business manager, they taking fees or whatever, they're charging you fees, write it off. Materials and supplies, instrument purchases, music supplies, meals. Like, you can only write off 50% of meals now. So sorry about that. And for those of y'all who was wondering, like, where was the entertainment category? Like buying tickets to, like, go see, the Brooklyn Nets or the Lakers or whatever. You can't write that stuff off no more. So you got to think of another way to, finagle that one. All right. So number 4, miscellaneous itemized deduction. Let's talk about this for, all of my musicians, or artists rather, who need clothes, like performance clothes and not streetwear clothes. I want to clarify this for you. So theatrical clothing is the clothes that cannot easily be worn on the street. Like, you're not going to wear like a burlesque costume. Well, some people would. But you're not going to wear that on the street all the time. It can't be normal clothes that can be worn from an everyday standpoint, right? So watch how much you splurge on your clothing, because you can only get away with so much of that clothing before an audit is coming your way, right? So when you go into the Gucci store or the Louis store and you just splurging and talking about, I'm going to write it off, that's actually streetwear. Even if it is eloquent, right? You can't just say that, oh, I bought this dress because it's going to, I'm going to sing in it, but you can wear that to dinner as well. You see what I mean? So it's got to be something like you would do at a Vegas show. I'm going to buy the Gucci belt and the shoes, right? And the shirt to match, but you can't write that off because it can double as streetwear. Any clothing that can double, you can't write it off. And if you write off too much of it, they come and look for you. All right, and that's only 2% of your adjusted gross income deducted for this category. That's basically after you do all the write-offs, and then this category is taken off the top of the adjusted gross income. But that's another conversation. Office expenses, messengers, private mail carriers and postages, music library, DVDs, videos, records, and tapes. The music that you buy, that you study, like you can write this stuff off too. Books and magazines, Billboard magazine, if you still get all that music. You can write off your Apple Music subscription too. Copying, printing, office supplies, film and processing. Memberships, check this out. The National Association of Record Industry Professionals membership, you can write it off. The Recording Academy, which is the Grammy Society, you can write that off. The National Music Publishers Association, you can write those fees off if you're in any of these associations, not clubs, not like dinner clubs and stuff like that. But, any of these associations that you got to pay yearly fees to, you can write those off too. Now, here's the thing, the studio bill. Even though you don't, let's say you're not paying a monthly rent, if you're booking studio time, you can write that off. All of it. You know what I mean? Rehearsal space rent for the band too. Write that off as well. All right. Repairs and maintenance, instrument and equipment repair, restring guitars. Oh, I dented my trumpet. My trumpet guy dented his stuff. He got somebody had to pay for it. Right. I broke a key on my keyboard and I got to do this. Write it off. Write it off. Taxes and licenses, any visas and any fees you got to pay for when you're going overseas, this, that, and the third. Write it all off, man. Travel expenses. Here's a big one for my artists. Cabs, subways, buses, and automobiles. Travel and non-personal. It has to be non-personal. So this is any travel expense that's non-personal. Could be gas too. Like if you're traveling and everybody's in the tour van, you can write that fuel off. Hotel, plane tickets, train tickets. Even if you rent in the cars, all of that stuff, you can write it off. Utilities. Now the utilities are for your home office, right? You can write those off too. The gas, the rent, the electricity, the insurance. We already said we could do the mortgage interest, so that's different if you bought the space. But if you're renting the space, you can actually write that off too. All right. I am going to do another show to show you how to reinvest, but book a call with me if you need help with this stuff. I'm not an accountant, but I can show you how to tidy up this business a little bit more and tie these things in so you'll be good to go. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Peace. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the show. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com/shop to download all my books and free guides. And while you're there, click on the book a call tab to get a one-on-one Zoom call with me to get all your music business questions answered and solved. Thanks for watching.